Hello Aries, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a timeless reading. I'm filming it for April 2024, but you can watch it whenever you feel called to. And if you're another sign, have Aries in another part of your chart, welcome. This is going to be a heavier reading. I was anticipating this reading and I was getting some of the downloads as my day went on, and it'll be a lot, but I'm hoping to give clarity and support. And as a reminder, when life gives you hate, give it love in return. So, the decks that I'll be using are the Slavic Legends Tarot, the Game of Thrones Tarot, Barbara Walker Tarot, one of the softer decks is the Mystic Fairy Tarot, and then the Power of the Runes. Pull out some cards from each deck. I'm definitely getting a third party situation gone completely haywire. And this was at the bottom of the deck, reverse the Knight of Wands. Somebody doesn't know what to do or is about to give in or give up because the the information has been exposed in a way. And last night I was getting the word hostile. So it's almost as if maybe somebody went somewhere to meet somebody else. But today I was getting something this interesting too that has been a carrying thought but strong today is their shit stinks, to say it bluntly, in a way where they smell like another person, or they, if they haven't slept with somebody, like their energy is like linked to somebody else's. Um, and the songs were definitely interesting because the songs that were coming up to me are the Outcast song, Outcast with K, Roses, and basically saying, um, you're saying that my shit stings, being like accusing the other person of like doing all these things, but when you point your finger, you have like fingers pointing back at you. So what do you do? Like you have all these things that you're trying to point out with them, and it could be leftover energy that they haven't escaped from previous partners. So the other song is very specific too. So this could have been an age gap type of dynamic. So the song that came up that was it randomly came on my YouTube one day, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to a new bop. I'll see how it is. And after I listened to him, like, I was like sad. So the song is the Demi Lovato 29, and basically saying that, um, I'll keep pulling out cards. Like if you're dating or maybe married to somebody if this is like that type of relationship with the Nine of Wands, like the person doesn't know what to do because like the secret's out. Basically saying, I wish I knew back then how it was like as a 29-year-old, what it could have been like dating like a 17-year-old or somebody that has an age gap. It doesn't need to be that wide of an age gap, or it could be greater than that. Um, and I'm not saying that relationships don't work out or age gap ones. Like some relationships are extremely fruitful and they could be an age gap relationship. This is one in particular where it just seemed like it started for the wrong reasons. It went on for the wrong reasons. Honestly, there was like this a thing where it's like stroking his or her ego because they didn't want to he or she didn't want to see or hear the truth because um maybe the other person that they left the other person for or cheated on or did them dirty with, it was one of those instances where they don't let just like anything fly if it's like boundaries. And this is like one where if a boundary was crossed, the other person didn't want to hear it or didn't know what to do about it, didn't know how to react to it because maybe they didn't have healthy relationships or boundaries growing up. So maybe the reaction is to just like when something doesn't end up well, um, to just be in flight mode, like just kind of ghost or disappear. Because for some, I'm getting that it's been a while for some people with this. But the interesting thing is that since it's been a while, the interesting is thing is, sorry, is that it's like the person that they left them for, it's like I chose, they were saying that like they wish that they stayed with the original person or the person that was the real one to them. And that's really sad. Um, because it's almost as if the real person that was like 100% with them from the start, they now see how amazing it is to have that type of dynamic in life because a lot of times you don't have somebody that goes through thick and thin with you and it feels like that person was that person to them to um the person that left. And I feel like the other person that was maybe the one that didn't have as like a fruitful relationship with them or maybe talking stage or something, they know about the original person or the real one. I'm just like gonna dub them as the real one because they're just like, well, I bent over backwards for them and they still just want to go back to the real one. And again, I'm not saying that this is like this for every relationship, but from a person that has like back in the day where I had something like that, um, sometimes, not all the time, they're single for a reason. And no matter how much stuff that you do for them, how much you like bend over backwards for them, they're still going to do the same things unless they take the initiative to change themselves and to want to change themselves. Um, it's almost like it's almost being used to trauma and not knowing how to get out of that trauma mindset. But no matter how much you do for them, they might still continue to um, cheat or hit you, degrade you, and you're like, why do you keep, like it just makes you wonder, and especially when you're at that age, you're like, it kind of just stays in your mind and you don't know how to react to relationships at some points because you're like, well, I did this for them and then they did that to me, so I'm not sure. And I would say, well, experience, well, not like that, but as I continued on, and I would say I didn't have many relationships after that, but they did last a couple of years. It was like they got better in a way where I knew what I didn't tolerate. Like there are some things that I just um, knew that it wouldn't be a compromise. And of course, relationships, it's, it's two people. So there's two different energies, two different, well, different types of ideas and things that they like to do. So of course, there's a compromise in that, but there are certain things that you're like, I do know it's not how it's, it's gonna be. Um, like there is one relationship where there was like I was dating somebody that drank a lot, and I would keep giving him money, and then I would say no, and then like he wouldn't take it. Like I was sleeping on the bed, and then I only had a couple dollars left, and I was like, no, like um like we had to pay for stuff, and he was drunk at the time, and of course it's like different things happened like in the span of that relationship. But so he flips the bed and takes the very last couple dollars. Or I was in a bathtub and I was taking a bath and again asking for money. And I was like, um, telling him I don't really have money. So he takes like an iced tea out of the fridge and he pours it on me and then he spits on me. Or the time where I'm standing and then I confront him about something, and this is wooden floors. He grabs me by like my ankle, and so I'm standing, and then I'm like flipped kind of because I land on my back, and then it's still hurting because like you're getting dragged by, well, I was getting dragged like on wooden floors, so like it's not carpet or anything, so it's not as soft. And it's like there's like a burning sensation or like getting punched or something. So over the years, like I don't know, I just feel that to get through the hardest parts, and this one card was a actually a repeat card. The second one that flipped over because the other ones aren't flipped over is Temperance. And Temperance linked to Sagittarius, who can can be seen as somebody that, or an archetype or sign that constantly is at war in their mind. So it feels like it's the balance of um, the constants and the stillness that comes with kind of chaotic energy. And how are you going to take what has just happened? I feel like it's definitely something to say if you're taking the loss with grace. And I wouldn't even consider this a loss. I'm going to keep flipping the cards over. So this is part of the reading. Um, so I'll write that in the title. Hopefully it'll be okay. But it's just one of those things where if you're a free spirit, you kind of just want to experience it for yourself. Like it's not a type of energy necessarily where you're gonna just go off of what somebody else's opinion is. But I feel like as I get older too, I feel that there could be something to what somebody might be saying. Of course, you take it for what you can and apply it to how it can be applied. If it does apply, if it doesn't apply, then don't worry about it. So with the rune, it's Hagalaz, and it feels like the universe is setting something straight. Again, if you believe that, because maybe it is karmic for this person to end up with this other person. Again, sad to say, but like attracts like in some cases too, instead of opposites attracting, where it was like kind of mirroring. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't even worry about it. And I said this earlier this year that I feel that this year is the year of relationships. If you have been genuine and kind and committed and wanting to genuinely grow with the person, have intentions, communicate things that you would like to have in the relationship, boundaries that are set. If you have like a healthy overall mindset with relationships, this is like, I feel like it's the year for you. And especially if you have been really on a roller coaster of relationships, I feel like this is like the year for you too. I know I said Aries, but I feel like I'm gonna put this on my other channel too. My other channels, my personal channels, I hope that people respond well to the constant messages, but I feel like I'm kind of on a roll. And I was feeling Virgo too. So we have the Hermit, and I'm saying these other signs. This is again, it's technically an Aries reading, but there's always something to learn from different places and beings and um so with the Hermit, it feels like now it's almost a personal journey because after getting the balance of the Haglaz where things are trying to reset itself and you got the answer and there was a certain justice that was served to you and to the universe in general, which I feel like um honestly, it kind of feels like you were dragged into the situation. So it's like now it's kind of finding ways to process, finding new ways, and learning things about life and about yourself and the things that are important for your journey, what you would like uh, to see, find, to hear, to learn. Um, it's very into oneself, and it is something that is amazing because it's almost like a constant self-care journey that the hermit goes through, that it needs to go through at this point because um it's almost like getting served the universal papers, and now you're like it feels like the judge deemed it to be in your favor, and how are you going to respond to it at this point? And then you're thinking, well, I could do this. This kind of feels a little bit like on a spiritual vacation with yourself, because to say the least, it's been a rough one, especially if something so traumatic has transpired. And especially, not only, but if the person that you were dealing with, you didn't really expect that from them because you kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt because of maybe how kind that they were. But I know my cousin's like, because just because a guy is nice doesn't mean that they're going to respond the same way to you. And I know, and I love him, and he's kind of the one I talk to for, well, anything really, but he's definitely the more, I guess, toned, level-headed, I guess. I'm not saying that I'm not, but he's like, "'Cause you're a fighter." So you're gonna get through this. So, oh, this it's really sweet because it's the Ten of Pentacles, and it's almost like it kind of reminds me of family night, just like eating popcorn and not having a care in the world because I know the other day my cat Gary was afraid of something, and then he just like gave me the look. And he's like, Mom, I'm not happy about this, or I'm not reacting well to something, or being in the way that he is or that he was in the moment. And it kind of just, you kind of just transfer the energy into something like that, as if what just happened, it's not like it didn't happen, but the energy is beautifully redirected, and you're just like, come here, baby. And then that's that's just such a powerful thing, that if you've been pushed down so many times and you're still willing to be kind and to nurture somebody else, it does say a lot about your character, and that's what I feel with the Ten of Pentacles. And it's definitely like a harvest card too. And sharing the maybe the fruits of her labor. Like she didn't need to, but she did. And they're just like chowing down. And for this, like a lot of this reading, it was just really amped up energy that I'm getting with this. Almost as if the person's like the other person that I guess at this point like did everybody dirty. um, figuratively and literally. They they don't know what to do. It's like it almost feels like they lost a lot. Um, Another Nine of Wands. This one isn't upright. It's just like teetering back and forth on what should I do? Should I try to salvage this? Should I just like walk away? She knows too much. She knows basically everything. There's just such an exposure. There's just such a pain. There is like an injury. And no matter how you try to heal it, it's it's some in some way it's lingering, or even if you do heal from it, even if this the real one does heal from it, um it's still one of the it's still something that you think about randomly too. And sometimes you think like, man, I was really young back then, wasn't I? Not really knowing um these things that I have experienced at that point, and now I'm like, it kind of feels like you kind of feel like you're in sludge, and then you just kind of pick yourself up, you pick up the pieces in a way, and at some point it just you walk, you're a little weak, and then you get stronger and you get stronger. And again, with the people that you surround yourself with, um, it's definitely one to note because your guides, your higher power, your friends, your family, they're gonna help dust you off and make you shiny again. So don't give up and don't lose faith on that. This is it might be like not a speed bump, but like a pothole in the road, but replace your tire, go to the shop if you have to, do the repairs. It's going to be a tedious process, but it's going to be worth it because you need to keep going. Like, your car is your bread and butter, your body's your bread and butter, even your mind is your bread and butter because if you don't have a healthy mindset, you're just, it's hard to go through the day. So, sorry, there's a lot more channeling than actually reading. So even as I said that, it's the strength card. And I love how like kind of rebellious that she looks because another thing that I was getting too was that is like freak. I'm a freak. Like before the even before the reading, it was like since yesterday, and it kind of reminds me of like, Harry Potter, where um Petunia was teasing Lily, and she had her magic, and that's who she was. I don't think that phased her necessarily. Um, she had a friendship with Snape, who loved her forever, and then she met her husband in Hogwarts. So I feel like there's definitely going to be something to look forward to in terms of relationships, if that's what you're looking at specifically. I feel like not even deep down. Like the person knew that they had something good going on. But I don't know if it was like instant gratification or just not having the mindset of they could actually be with this person because this person is so caring, so nurturing, so giving, so the Ten of Pentacles, like the fairy that shared her harvest with the animals that could have been seen as like less than in a way. And even in the future card, my God, it's the Two of Cups. And it just feels like it's like everything is crashing down. Like even if, say, even this person, if they tried staying with the other person, like with everything that transpired, with the Tower card, it wouldn't be consistent with the Knight of Cups. So there couldn't have been, I don't think there was a lot there necessarily. Even if they did get to know each other, maybe they just didn't see eye to eye, or again, maybe it was like a talking phase, or maybe she wasn't really convinced about him, or he was like, this isn't it. What am I doing? That's what it kind of feels like with the Tower, or how it feels like with the Tower and the Knight of Cups. Is for, like, say the Aries, or since this is like a channeled in Domes Collective at this point, the Two of Cups with the Sun card. And it doesn't get any better than that. Still shining as much as you did before, like with the Strength card. For some, I would definitely not be surprised if they spin the block and they try to appease the situation. I mean, I don't know if it depends if you want to do that, but it would definitely be a task, I would say. For the Judgment card, it kind of feels like as if you didn't prepare for the winter, and the Tower card again. This also feels like with Judgment, like something just overcomes you in a way. It kind of just feels this could be the aftermath of the loss of feeling despair, depression, or feeling a hunger or a yearning or a desperation even to maybe to hear from this the real one again. The King of Coins and the Ace of Coins, the Judgment's still in my hand, so I feel like these are applicable together. I feel like the King of Coins is reversed here, and I feel like there was something sketchy about the intentions of maybe starting the relationship or getting the coin or getting this specific person. Um, for some reason, it kind of feels like it kind of left them again, not knowing what to do in a pothole, or um, because it feels like somehow it disabled them in a way where they're not sure what to do or how to move forward or how to maybe fix things if they want to fix things. This was a one of the specific cards that I got in another reading, and it was just such a specific card. It was the Four of Cups, decline. Sorry. Um, so it looks like kind of like a king being entertained by somebody, and it kind of feels like there isn't really anything attached with them, or it doesn't feel like the queen basically. And if it is, it's it feels like it's in the past, as if maybe that's how they used to be and now they aren't. As not expressive as it may seem with the King of Cups at this point, it feels like this person's super deep into their emotions right now. Like almost core of the earth deep to like, pitch black, water deep, where you just see those like fish with the lamps on their head. And then you have the star card. With this one, it kind of feels like since the stars are aligned at the top, it feels like there is a guidance there. And then you have the Pope too. With the Pope, it kind of feels as if, in a way, since it's linking to maybe like the church, it kind of feels like confession, um, which is more specific, but I guess it could link to it does link to spirituality too. And almost coming to terms with the aftermath or the exposure again of what has happened. I honestly kind of feel like there might be people, or maybe that they know of this dynamic between you two, or something between like the real one, maybe the other person too, but maybe not, because that one kind of seems like it's more on the secret side in a way, but maybe some people do. Um, it kind of looks like these people are just like stepping back. They're just like, dude, I don't want to get involved with this. And some people might be like, no, yo, this person's like really cool. That that was really fucked up. Uh, and they couldn't even get behind it either, to be honest. Other times there could have been people in your environment, specifically maybe like friends, that would kind of egg them on. And that's also something to consider too. Because maybe giving them the benefit of a doubt, like if the real one was just like, um if they were just like, I knew of their friends, I knew their behavior kind of, or like what they were about a little bit, but you were kind of, or the person was just kind of hoping that like maybe they wouldn't do the same things. And with the magician, it's like everything is scattered on his table or her table, whatever gender you're reading for. And it's like, what do I do now? What do I do? It's like kind of sporadic and like panicked energy. That's what I've been getting, especially towards the beginning. And it does feel like the past like coming to haunt them with this Justice card and the Six of Cups. Or even the person that they really wanted is now not there anymore because, again, of the justice of the the actions that match the consequences to um every action is has a equal or opposite reaction type of situation. So the person that has done this, and maybe the other person that knew about the first or the real person, was like they knew the consequences and they went with it anyway. So it is kind of the main thing is like I'm getting not even anger, I'm getting disappointment. And I feel like that's one of like the worst not like the worst reactions like in a bad way. But if you hear that like someone's disappointed in you, it's just like I feel like it hits harder for some reason. Because if someone's mad at you and maybe they're expressive, maybe they're not expressive about it, then you kind of have like an idea. But if someone's just like, I didn't think you would be that type of person, and you were, and I was really hoping, like, I was really rooting for you, and you were like that, and it's kind of like, damn, that's disappointing. I feel like it just hits. Then you also have the Hermit again. That Hermit feels like it's in reverse though, I would say. Because it kind of feels like the person that did all these deeds is now like it's almost it feels as if they kind of went wild or lost it in nature in a way, if that makes sense. Not like there's anything wrong with the card, but that's how it's feeling to me right now. And then it's the Fool. So I feel like this is more of the real person's energy, where it's like, don't give up, love bug. Great things are yet to come to you in the future. Go on with yourself, be your best self, and um the right people will come along. Some people are just, they teach you things. Just take the lesson and um when you see it again, maybe be more aware about it. It kind of reminds me of one of my friends, we would talk and not like that, but we would talk and then she's like, these red flags, they aren't red flags, they're bumper stickers and bumper stickers fall off. Because it just thought it was funny how it how that conversation was. So you have the Magician again and the Seven of Wands. It feels like the Seven of Wands is in reverse. I feel like this is the other person that did the deed. And this time it just doesn't feel like there's so much left. Like at one point, like with the magician, it's like I have all these things that I can try to work with, that I can try to put together. Like honestly, do some bullshit apology or like try to make it up and do all those things. With this one, with the magician, it kind of feels reversed too, which is definitely not good. And then the Seven of Wands reversed too, challenge. Because it just feels like something is being held over this person as if it taunts them. And it's it almost kind of feels like when you're playing with your animal or something, and then it's like kind of part of the game. Not like saying this is a game, but that they don't actually get the the toy that they're um playing with, like with the feather or maybe the laser pointer. And maybe it's like it's all fun and games until, something like this happens, and then it's like, damn, it's like really not fun. Um, and this magician, it just doesn't feel like this person has like any resources or things that he can, I don't know, pull out of a hat to try to appease the situation, because what's done is definitely done, and it's pretty out in the open for that one. So I'll pull out another card, and I'll pull out one from the Slavic legends too. Or actually, a couple cards came out. Oh, I'm not gonna. There's a pile. I'll take these. And here. Another Ten of Cups. Or this one's Ten of Cups. We had a Ten of Pentacles in the other one. I'm sorry. This feels like harmony, though. I was asking if it was harmony for the other person. It was this Knight of Swords really just kind of going or gunning for something or somebody, but then ending up with the Four of Cups. That it looks like it wasn't even worth it. So they got the Ten of Swords with Traitor, the Eight of Swords. It kind of feels like this person's surrounded, not only with maybe the person that was like by their side, but they're really feeling the loss. So the Traitor, um, like maybe like the conversation that kind of put this to rest. The Eight of Swords. There's a lot of mental dysfunction that I'm getting with this. That it's just so, it feels like it's almost like congested thoughts, as if it's just so overwhelming. The Nine of Swords. This kind of feels like um it kind of feels like feral energy for for the reading, to be honest, because when somebody like put the pieces together or put the put the pieces together or found out in some way, because the Knight of Swords can be like a direct message or even telepathic too, or somebody that knows. It feels like somebody is like, don't touch me, or like the dog is like kind of growling. It kind of feels like this person, because a bunch of cards came out. So with the King of Cups and the Death, it feels like this person was doomed from the beginning with this, because of some trauma that they've been through. It doesn't allow them to move past move through relationships in a healthy way. It's the constant thoughts or emotions of, this person did this to me in the past, and um, really just connected to their trauma and really kind of identifying with their trauma, not like this character specifically, but in a way identifying, or I guess in a way that I to identify by their trauma. And so they know, like, I guess with the name, like, that it's not forgotten of the origin of this character. And then the star card, this looks like this person, it doesn't, it looks like she is looking out, uh, but it's like she's kind of putting the star as a guidance, as if she's in an area where maybe her friends or her family like are there for her, or maybe they pick her up, or they do something, because it feels as if it's like over here, where she's being led to something, that this is the next thing for you, this is the new path for you, like with the Fool card. There's just something that really illuminates at this time, that really just shines in the moments of the darker times, and even scientifically, through darkness there is light. So I feel like with this, so you have the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles. There's just a strong responsibility in relationships to want to set things right, or to be in a healthy relationship. Even though they're different characters on the cards, it does feel like this Queen of Pentacles will be in the lover's position. It's just getting past this time of the transparency, of the reveal, of the exposure. And she does have guidance from different sources. So I I think it's going to be more of a direct route of what to do from here on out. And with the Queen of Pentacles, it's almost as if she's seen something like this before. Sad to say, but she'll be able to get past it. Even though that with the Lovers card, it does feel like it could be the gap again is like a maturity thing, or because I feel that the energies are more so on the younger side too, even if there is an age gap. And with the Two of Spears, the Two of Wands, this kind of feels like this is my dominion and I rule over it. Um, and like, characters with the origin stories, they what they deal with things and then they overcome things. This feels like the energy of overcoming things and dominating and moving forward and really taking life and living it to its fullest. And like there's a vivacious type of energy that just wasn't taken away. I feel like it even enhanced the fire within. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.